Hey guys, it's Renee in the kitchen, and I decided to give you a little video that I probably should have started earlier, but I wanted you to see what I've done because I get so many emails from people asking me, how do I do pan-seared oven pork chops? Now, I'll probably do another video that's a little bit better to show you exactly what you do, but essentially you want to take your pan, which you're going to go over to my stove, which now has vegetables in it. But you want to take your pan with a little bit of olive oil, and let's see what I got here. Say hi to my Keurig. But I have olive oil in my cabinet, and you want to saute your pork chops with this olive oil. You don't need a lot, just enough to coat the entire bottom of the pan, so that you can pan sear your pork chops. And when I say pan sear, I'm not saying fry completely. They should still be raw, but they should lock in that flavor on each side for at least about 1 to 2 minutes, you know, until you see a dark brown color, or a light brown color I should say, similar to what you see here. Let me turn this. So you see this color on the actual pork chop. You can see that some areas, like in here, it's still raw. It's not done. So by no means are you serving this, but this is what you want. You want this golden color to the actual pork chops, and the ones that I'm using are grass-fed organic pork chops. It's a better quality. It's center cut, so it's thicker. And if you have a baking dish, let me see if I can kneel down. If you can see my baking dish, I probably have about 8 pork chops in there, and they're pretty large and vary in size. But I pan sear them and put them all into a baking dish, and then I come back over here to my pan of vegetables that I have, which is, you know, something simple that I keep in my refrigerator all the time. And that would be yellow onion. Some people use Spanish onion. It's just as good. If you like white onion, that's just as good as well. Whatever your preference is fine. I also have some red peppers in here. I also have yellow peppers. Usually I have green peppers, but I didn't have any in the refrigerator, so that's fine. And what I'm doing right now is I'm sweating my vegetables. What sweating means that the vegetables do not have color. So I'm not darkening these by any means. I'm just sweating them. I'm not frying them. It's a little olive oil residue that's left from the pork chops when I was pan searing. So all I'm doing is just sweating them. As you can see, you know, the vegetables, they still have a little bite to them, but they're not browned and dark by any means, because I'm going to put this over my pork chops, okay? And I'm going to cover my pork chops with foil and continue cooking them in the oven. What that does is it allows the flavor to lock in. It allows the flavor to lock into my pork chops. It allows it to absorb. Let me just cut this off. It allows it to absorb the flavors from these peppers and onions and the seasonings that I use. Now, if we go back to the pork chops, some of the seasonings that I have on these include thyme, black pepper, oregano, basil, a little bit of sage. I like sazon, so I always have that on my meat that I cook. Rosemary, as you could probably see if I get in closer, there's rosemary on there. I like rosemary. I think it's aromatic, but the flavor choices are totally up to you. But you want to have a good base. I also use ground cloves. You want to have a good base for your pork chops. So now we go back over here, which I don't know if I can do this with the video still in my hand, but we're gonna try. You know, this is amateur video. This is my humble beginnings, y'all. So right now, what you're gonna do is pour this liquid, because there's gonna be some juice. Pour these peppers and onions directly over your pork chops, just like this. It's almost like if you went to a Jamaican restaurant and they did it with fish. It's the same concept. And you just want to pour that. Let me put this back on the stove. Okay. You want to pour this directly over your meat. It's fine to leave it just like this. There's no harm done here. And you want to just spread it out. Make sure that the top is evenly coated. If some peppers go down in the cracks and crevices of that meat, that's fine. That's more seasoning. Alright? So now that that's done, You're going to simply take a piece of foil, you're going to cover it, and you're going to pop it in your oven. And that's essentially it. Pop it in the oven. I would say a good base would be 375 I like to use. Put it in there, let it cook. You know, some people cook it at 400. I'm not in a hurry. Let it cook. I'll let it probably stay in there for at least a good 30 to 40 minutes because I like my pork chops well done. Some people like a little pink. That's fine. You could do 20 to 30 depending on your preference. I think I'm going to do 30 to 45. But it's all about preference. It's very easy to do. And there you have it. Pan-seared pork chops. Next time I'll be sure to start this video a little earlier, but I just got the idea right now. Alright, y'all. Take care.